actually was originally attached to play Nathan Drake. And then as various filmmakers went on and off the film, I was always kind of still hanging around hoping to make the film. And I got the call from Sony saying, hey, we're making the movie. So I was like, okay, great, who's the other guy? And they were like, Tom Holland. I said, what do you mean Tom Holland?
I was shooting Spider-Man Homecoming in Atlanta, and I would be playing Uncharted 4. But it wasn't until 2 years later where the idea of doing an origin story for Nathan Drake kind of came up.
A little young for a bartender, aren't you?
A little old for prom, aren't you?
Tom Holland immediately started in our minds to occupy the young Nathan Drake character right from the get-go, because Nathan Drake is a physical character.
One of the great things about Tom, you couldn't find a better young Nathan Drake. And we watch him evolve over the course of the film into the Nathan Drake of the game.
Oh, well, 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 if it isn't the late, great, and formerly employed Nate.
Well, at least you got the great part right. There are elements in this film that are direct comparisons to the game. You know, like when I climb up the boat and jump across to the cannon, that's something that I added in because I loved moments like that in the game. Copying certain ways he would jump from rock to rock or things like that that we love from the games, we definitely have in our film. Yeah, the jump looked great.
While we do certainly borrow things from the game franchise, whether it's the tone, the humor.
You got a great ass, Sully.
For me, it was really important to distinguish our story from the games and show a different layer of it that we hadn't seen before. That's cool. That works well.
There's always been a trepidation of taking something that's so perfect, like Uncharted as a video game, and trying to adapt it to film. But I think the approach that we've taken is coming up with an original story. I think what it'll do is it'll satisfy the fans who love the franchise to be able to see Nathan Drake in a way they haven't seen in the games.
The neat thing about working with Tom was that he's such an avid fan of the games in like a real way. It's not just lip service. Like he's played every one of them. He knows them backwards and forwards. So he had a level of commitment to the character and to the franchise that even exceeded my own.
There's like an ancient room, deep dial he has to spin around.
Nothing to give up, do you? Watch out!
We had the privilege of getting to actually work with Nolan North, who obviously is the guy that, you know, started this whole thing and kind of brought Nathan Drake to life to begin with. I obviously developed my own way in which Nathan Drake speaks. So when I met him, I was trying not to copy him because his voice is so recognizable.
Casting Tom, I think, is great because he's got that charm. He's got the same enthusiasm as an actor as Nathan Drake has in adventuring. So it's a good recipe.
For us, the partnership between Naughty Dog, Sony, and then our creatives on set was really instrumental to the success of the movie, and I'm delighted to say that that partnership was very harmonious. We wanted to make sure that we brought Nathan Drake to life in a new and refreshing way while maintaining what the fans love about him from the game. And I think when people see this movie, they will be blown away by what we've achieved. Oh, come on!
He's gonna stop, say the line, and then go.
Like light,
And then, right. And then go down, and that's the end.
Ruben Fleischer is a dream come true for this project. Ruben immediately said, this is a movie I have to make. Those are always magical words to hear a director utter because it means they're coming to it with a passion.
And then that's the one where you're just gonna be free flying for a while, and then also.
Ruben was somebody who I was very excited about, and I really campaigned for him to get the job as well. I think he was the perfect person, especially considering the tone we wanted to be able to balance the humor, the intensity, and the action, and of course the stakes.
I know the legend that Magellan's voyage wasn't about exploration, it was about finding that gold. Sometimes with these big action movies, you can lose the heart, which was something that Ruben, our director, was very adamant to keep present.
That's a hard balance to make, where you've got some pretty funny moments, and yet on the other hand, some real nervousness about whether our guys are going to come through this okay. But Ruben does it exceptionally well.
Ruben has been so enthusiastic, not only about the movie, but he was so enthusiastic about my participation. It was impossible to say no. The enthusiasm that he showed convinced me because it was genuine.
Good job, everybody. Good job.
Ruben is a character director and truly understood that this was a movie about the characters of Nathan Drake and Victor Sullivan, and that the goal was to make the audience love these characters.
Good. Let's do one last one. It's just that last line. Indiana Jones is my all-time favorite movie, and I had dreamed of making a treasure hunting, globe-trotting adventure since I was a kid. As soon as I read the script, it had that magical quality of escapist and adventure. I was a history major in college. I went to college thinking I was going to be an archaeologist. I just have such a passion for history and antiquity and everything else. So for me, when they approached me with this, I couldn't believe how lucky I was to be asked to be a part of something so special.
Action!
One of the great things about him is he's really got a great grasp at making sure that we give those who know the game things that they can latch on to, whether they're Easter eggs or character traits that Nate and Sully would have from the game.
What is that thing on your face?
Puberty's right around the corner, kid. You can grow your own.
There's Easter eggs sprinkled throughout the film. In the bar, there's a neon sign when we first meet Nate that says "Kitty got wet," which is a signature line from the video game franchise. When Nate opens his trunk in his apartment, there's a Naughty Dog sticker on the inside of the trunk as like a little wink to the video game company.
Oh, crap!
His signature line, "Oh crap," which he says throughout the film, is a straight callback to the video games. And perhaps the biggest Easter egg of all,
What the hell happened to you two?
Nolan North, who plays the voice of Nathan Drake in all the video games. His cameo is like a really fun moment for audiences, for those who know who he is. So for anyone who's paying attention, they'll see that it's a homage to the video game franchise.
Good luck.
All right. I love it. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Okay, go, boom.
He really gets the benefit of the talented people that surround him, like Shepard Frankel, production designer, or Chung Hoon Chung as the DP.
He's very collaborative. No idea is a bad idea. He's willing to consider anything. That's what makes the film so great.
I think Ruben's good for this one because he's not afraid to like aim high. He always gives you the opportunity to mess around and try new things, and he's very much of that mentality of no idea is a bad idea, it just might not be the right idea.
I've absolutely loved working with Ruben. The joy that he brings is just unmatchable.
Really cool. Turned out really good. Good instinct about being more perilous. There were so many moments throughout the process of making this movie where I just felt like a kid in a candy store. Every single day it was another level of excitement. It was a pretty incredible experience from start to finish.
Lower, looking up. Oh, shit!
Great, cut, very nice. Let's do this. Cut.
And lowering the palm down.
The bar was set really high in terms of what the action would be for an Uncharted movie. So we felt an obligation to, live up to that. I just love it when it's never too easy.
Roll balls and charts, please. Roll balls and charts. Roll.
Hey! I told you, don't do this!
Our main antagonist, Moncada, has a privately owned C-17, which, if you have ever looked at a C-17, they're huge and actually mostly military controlled.
And there's this big action sequence on the inside of the C-17, and it goes awry. You'd be surprised how many things do go awry. It's one of the great signatures of the Uncharted movie now.
It's one of the more fun, major pieces. We have a mix of fights, gunfights, we have actors getting thrown out, and we also have the Mercedes coming out of the plane.
Nate?
Oh, come on!
3, 2, 1, go.
There's an actual car, and he actually gets hit by that car. When we're flying through the sky, we're suspended on ropes, and I actually fly off the car on a rope. That's real.
It's the hardest action sequence I've ever made, and it's the most time I've ever spent in wires. And the fact that I've been playing Spider-Man for the last 7 years is saying something. So it was a really tough sequence.
We built several different pieces. We built an interior of a C-17. We built the exterior cargo boxes that are hanging out the back of the plane brilliantly by Shepard Frankel.
The idea was to create a fluid set piece, almost like a game board, that allowed our stunt team to develop the most interactive and exciting sequence based on a version of reality on how these crates exit a C-17. Each crate had a performance and it had a purpose, and how they worked as a group together, and how they worked like in that space as a maze, and how they worked out on the daisy chain once they were out of the plane, and how the crate that our team falls down into the sea on had another performance.
I didn't expect any of that reading the script. I thought we were just gonna be CGI. But it was all built in a stage. My reaction is so real because it's beautifully done.
We must have shot that for 4 or 5 weeks, almost every day. And, you know, at times I'd be 100 feet in the air, attached to a box that is spinning. And then I would basically hang on until it would throw me off.
I had done some pretty big scale action in my career, but nothing like this before. It was a great marriage of practical filmmaking with some pretty high-end technical stuff, along with incredible visual effects.
We ended up using robo-arms that are used in factories, and we could convert them in a way of programming that they run straight from the animation program, which was great. And we had 5 of them, and they really worked together like dancing.
And they were able to program them so that the boxes appeared to be fishtailing and moving as if they were behind the plane.
The boxes that were mounted, they had a special frame inside from us, and they had to be very lightweight and of course soft, because Tom Holland did a lot by himself. So he was smashing against the boxes and climbing and grabbing.
Once it threw me off, the wires would catch me, and it was really scary, but I think that level of fear just makes that scene that much more authentic.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry! That was purely reactive!
We learned with the KUKA arms and how to operate, how to get them to do the right things so that it looks really dynamic. But at the end, I think we get a real good result. And the best thing is that our actor felt very comfortable and did a lot of things by himself.
These sequences are really pushing the boundaries of what we've seen before in cinema, and I think will really pay respects to some of the incredible action sequences in the games.
Get out of the way. As it hits you is the way to do it.
Got it. To have the opportunity to explore the action sequences and figure out what we could do and what we couldn't do was really exciting.
Filming it, I felt badass, and then watching it, I was like, who is this person? That's not me.
I was doing stunts that are far bigger than anything I've done before. Greg, Luke, and I, my 2 doubles, we were really put to the test.
He very much wants to do as many stunts as he can, so it set a mood.
Tom has done more action on this film, probably in all of the movies that he's done combined.
The movie raises the bar as far as the level of intensity in the action.
We really, pushed ourselves to try and meet the level that the video games had set. I hate action that doesn't have personality in it. It's so great when you can find humor and character within the action.
Yeah, I got it. Sex on the beach.
There's actually this really cool stunt where Nate blows fire out of his mouth, jumps on the counter, onto the other counter, and then through the hole right as the door is closing.
Designing the fighting was really interesting because he's someone who's incredibly capable but not trained, which was actually quite tricky, and it took a while to get right, but I do think in the film it comes across that he's just someone who's very gifted.
Ruben, he's very capable of the action and is an incredibly collaborative filmmaker in terms of interacting with second unit and in the development and execution of action and how it takes a village to create action set pieces.
Our practical locations were really incredible. The set piece that takes place when Nate and Sully meet Chloe for the first time. We're really running across the rooftops, incredible palace and falling in their fountain and everything.
Nathan Drake, at the end of the day, is human, so designing these action sequences around that was really, really fun.
Could you move any slower? Bad ankle.
I was lucky enough now to be playing the elder statesman who doesn't have to be as physically capable as Nathan. He's smart enough to use his wits about him and let Nathan do most of the heavy lifting.
There's only one rule in this game, kid. Don't get caught.
Tati, she was a force. When she takes out those 3 guards at the auction, she was so committed.
It's never fun fighting in a dress and heels. You never think that that's what you're gonna have to do, and then boom.
And I remember she was kicking me in the chest, and sort of 5 or 6 takes in, I remember saying to her, like, do you have any sort of martial art training? Because she was beating the shit out of me.
I have a background in martial arts. I have a black belt, and it's always been a dream of mine to be able to apply that to this work.
Hand it over, Victor.
One of the great moments in this film is what we call the Papa John's fight.
Papa John's. Yeah, never got my pizza, by the way.
Braddock and Sully facing off as below them you have this perilous sequence with Sophia and Tom stuck in a well.
She has got the upper hand on me, and I'm kind of in it with the ticking clock trying to save them and keep my operation going.
At first, it was very intimidating. That was my first real interaction with Mark, him walking into this stunt rehearsal. He came in hitting 30 years under his belt, hit the ground running. I'd been rehearsing for 2 days, and he's like, all right, let's do it.
She's absolutely amazing, especially of martial arts and fighting. She certainly didn't need a stunt double at any time, that's for sure.
Fighting should be basically unwritten dialogue. So we wanted to give Braddock something different. She's a trained assassin.
Sorry, son's a bitch.
Sully is an older school, old hand. So he has a more street brawly, kind of just get to the point style.
First of all, it wouldn't be a fair fight. He would probably start it when you weren't looking. When he goes, there's definitely no rules.
All my stunts through this whole movie have been crazy. I jumped from a 40-foot boat.
You have a battle for these ships play out between the ships being carried by 2 helicopters in this great swashbuckling style.
The first time I stepped foot on the ships, you know, was a really momentous occasion.
The boats are real, which was on a gimbal simulating that the boats are flying.
It moves on hydraulics and adds this element of like danger, which keeps everyone's adrenaline pumping.
We had a helicopter. It was on a gimbal, too, so it was kind of moving around and thrusting around.
People swinging from one boat to another and boats crashing into each other. It's wild.
We were up there on wires and pulling each other up and down, and it's as close to doing the real thing as you can.
If he goes 3, 2, and on 2, you're reaching.
We were always challenging ourselves to push the limits on what the action was and what the moments are.
Come on! Trust me! Movies aren't really made like this anymore. And I think when you watch the film, it really does come across authentic. Hi, everyone. Hi. Let's do this. Uncharted, let's go. I'm Tom Holland, and I play Nathan Drake, and this is Mark Wahlberg. I am Toland.
I was impressed you got that right. I have forests without woods. I have deserts without deserts without sand.
What if you didn't reserve your tickets to see Uncharted and Why is it the English I get one?
Good at that. Exactly. Okay, here we go.
The relationship between Mark and I is integral to the heart and soul of the film.
You have movies like this, and there is really exciting action set pieces. What really raises the bar is the chemistry between the characters.
That was a little more your size.
Yeah, cute.
The great thing about having Uncharted as source material to base the film upon is that the tone was so well established. The humor, the relationship, there was a template that we could follow.
Nate and Sully are kind of having this combative relationship, which is definitely healthy and sometimes unhealthy for the two.
And what's with the cat?
She's just for you.
What?
Life seems super sad.
No, I'm not gonna keep that. What? No, I'm not gonna keep this thing. No, I'm not gonna keep that. Hey!
You get a shit all over my floor.
Capturing the character of Sully and the relationship between Nate Drake and Sully was tricky. In the game, you meet them and they're already bonded and have history and have gone on adventures together and clearly have a relationship that they're playing off of.
We gave you the respect of Big Spin, but you tell us.
I was gonna stick him on there. Maybe some more.
Bro, I'm sweating my ass off, bro.
You're leaking.
And maybe you'll have second thoughts.
Oh.
I think it was the first scene that we shot with Mark and Tom, and when I watched that scene being shot, I just was like, this is it. This is the dynamic.
Hey! Hey! How's he see me? Because I'm angry.
Yeah, put that in your ear.
No way. Hello? Hello?
I can hear you. I'm sitting right next to you.
Oh shit, I think I pushed it in too far.
That was great.
I'm good at this.
Keep it rolling.
One of the great things between Tom and Mark is the chemistry that they have, the repartee that they have, the ad-libs that they're able to pull off.
Somebody's thirsty? Oh, kid, you might want to taste it first. Thirsty? Try out another one. You might want to slow down with that. You left a little at the bottom. Now you want to take a bigger sip. More? Chug it down. Like you're on spring break. All good.
It's really authentic. When you watch them go back and forth, so much of that is improvised.
They're so cute. There is a lot of banter between Nate and Sully. Their relationship in real life is sort of similar to their relationship in the movie.
Get out of my way, man. What are you doing?
Go get her! Kid, I can't be running around here. It's hot as shit.
Could you move any slower? You should have got her.
Kid, it's hot out here. I can't be running around like this. I got a bad ankle, too.
Shit. It's the perfect dynamic.
There's a lot of improvising and things that we just tried on the day that I think ended up in the movie because the chemistry was really working.
It was very nice to see the synergy between Mark and I.
And you either have that or you don't. Man, give us 10 more takes. That would do that without the thing.
Yeah, I know. I was getting there.
The trick in the movie is how the antagonist structure was developed. So we start the movie establishing a fantastic antagonist.
Increíble.
Educated, smart, worldly, charismatic, but also menacing and dark and dangerous. The only person I ever could think about for Moncada was Antonio Banderas.
500 years ago, my family was betrayed. Now, today is the day I restore the Moncada's fortune.
Antonio really brings gravitas and fascination into this wealthy character who's on a mission to restore a fortune.
I'm just trying to keep, for me, what is supposed to be mine.
And then right when you're not expecting it,
Miss Braddock,
a character named Braddock, played by Tati Gabrielle, emerges as a great antagonist as well.
I like the idea of Braddock being this psychopath, essentially, that she sees red all the time. She's a cold-blooded killer.
Tati, when I first met her, I was not really sure that, I was like, how is she gonna play this scary villain? And I remember she was kicking me in the chest and it really hurt. I was like, oh, I see now.
She has a weapon of choice. It's got some very rough edges, and if they touch you, you bleed.
The karambit was originally being used as a tool, and then it slowly turned into a weapon.
I think that belongs to me.
It was really hard at first learning the karambit, the whole spinning of it, and it's always connected to your body. The training for it was tricky, a lot of hand-eye coordination, but now I love it. big guy, he doesn't talk, and his sidekick, the Highlander.
Our henchmen are great. These are characters who are not in the IP, so we had some freedom in terms of who's Braddock's crew.
Braddock as Hugo and the Scotsman, played by Stephen Waddington and Pingy Molly. I see them as like Tweedledee and Tweedledum. Hugo says nothing the entire film. He's just this huge, massive wall everywhere.
Silent but deadly. That's my character.
And then Scotsman, you can't understand anything he's saying the entire time.
That's it! You shouldn't have come out to play with our cat boys. We ain't about to get a proper scud as well.
Whoa. I literally have no idea what you're saying.
No one can understand what he's saying. Sometimes, even me. Ruben will throw a new line. Say this, Stephen. I'm like, I have to process. How would I say that in Scottish?
It makes you think, like, Braddock, where did you find these guys, and how did this even, like, become a team?
Braddock sold this, I think, as the kind of job that you can retire on. And I think that's why they put their life on the line for it.
You have no idea who you partnered with, do you? You don't even really know what went down.
Chloe is a character from the IP. She has a very interesting relationship with Nate Drake that pops up in a number of the games in different areas of the narrative.
Give me a lift.
Chloe Fraser is Australian. Her personality is very sarcastic. She doesn't put up with anyone's bullshit. She's this mysterious treasure hunter.
She's almost as untrustworthy as Sully, which is what I try to convey to Nate throughout the story, that she is not to be trusted. She's saying the same thing about me. He doesn't know who to believe or who to trust.
Look, if we want to get the gold, we're gonna have to figure out a way to trust each other.
The movie does not exist without a good villain, and we have great ones. That's for sure.
You're about to play with the big boys, Ian, because you're about to get a proper Scottish welcome.
You should meet a real Scottish man. Say that. See what they say. They'll be like, let's go catch.
Badass.
We're looking for the Age of Explorers exhibit. Got that? Stay close.
I think I swallowed my gum.
Whoa. Yeah. Think about what it was like to be on one of these galleons. No idea what's ahead of you.
Technically, it's a carrot. Galleons came later.
Technically, you're a nerd.
Okay, there you go. Have a good night. Enjoy. What can I get you?
A little young for a bartender, aren't you?
Take that as a compliment. A little old for prom, aren't you?
Well, fundraiser around the corner. 10K a seat, and they know how to make a damn Hemingway daiquiri.
Papa Doble it is. You can have it by the book, splash of grapefruit, splash of maraschino, or you can have it the way the old man in the sea used to drink it. Straight rum, extra cold, and just a few drops of lime.
And a teaspoon of sugar. Just like they do it in the Floridita bar.
Floridita, like Hemingway Floridita? You been?
Oh, a bunch of times. I don't always remember walking out.
Sounds like my kind of night. I always wanted to go to Havana.
Yeah? Well, what's stopping you?
Well, put it this way. I'm not dropping 10K at fundraisers.
Don't sell yourself short, kid. You'd be surprised how far you can go.
One Hemingway daiquiri, the way the Papa liked it.
Bit on the sour side.
No, it isn't.
All right, well, I'll let you get back to Jaeger bombs and vodka tonics, huh? Have fun.
Hey, buddy. You forgot this. Thanks for the tip. Hey, when you said we were flying private, I had something different in mind. Do I even want to know what's back here?
Well, Taglin doesn't ask me how I make a living. I don't ask him. That's why we made it in the Navy as long as we did.
That's comforting.
There's some crazy shit in there, huh?
It's unbelievable. I mean, it totally confirms the legend. Magellan did find tons of gold in the Philippines, but they did have a huge battle, and Magellan did die on a beach. They hid the gold in Barcelona, told the Moncadas that the trip was a bust, and then one by one, the infamous 18 just started dying.
They were tortured, murdered by Santiago Moncada's ancestors, okay?
Exactly, but none of them gave up the gold.
Okay, well, you have any bright ideas on how to use the keys?
Yeah, here. The captain wrote, "The path begins in Barcelona where the keys turn into pine." And then there's a sketch here of a pine tree. Here. So, we're looking for a tree.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's your expert analysis?
Well, you just gave me the book like an hour ago. What am I supposed to do?
I mean, I got that far on my own. I've seen the picture of the tree. Where's the gold? Is it under the tree? Is it in the tree?
I don't know. Could be.
Look out the windows. A lot of trees in Barcelona.
How long do pine trees even live anyway?
Longer than you think. Up to 1,000 years.
Yeah, unless they've been bulldozed, struck by lightning, turned into toothpicks. Bad shit happens to trees.
Well, you got a point there. Chloe said to meet her right there. Okay, do you think she's okay?
Who?
My cat.
You have a cat?
The man from the app said he was gonna feed her, but he didn't text me back yet.
I don't know what's cuter. You're concerned with the fact that you just said the man from the app.
Will you stop?
Don't be fooled. He's still dreaming of ways to cut us out.
Didn't you steal a key to a priceless fortune from us today?
I borrowed it to prove a point.
Oh, you borrowed it. Oh, okay. And where are you going?
When I was a kid, in Gralia, I found this thing in the dirt. I could tell it was really old. So I washed it. It was a scabbard, covered in jewels.
Nice. What'd you do with it?
I did what I thought was right. I took it to my uncle, figured he'd help me get a reward or take it to a museum or something. But he sold it.
No.
Kept it all for himself. I vowed that day that if I ever found anything again, I wouldn't share it with anyone.
How come your uncle? Your parents weren't around? Nah, who needs him anyway, right? How do I know you're not playing me?
You don't. That's what makes it fun. What's it say?
Sic Parvis Magna.
Greatness from small
Beginning. This is close. Greatness from small beginning.
Who gave it to you? Some crazy eggs?
No, my brother Sam gave it to me.
Hey. Big day tomorrow. Reckon we better get some sleep.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Nate! Nate, did you take the map? Please tell me we got something, anything!
This cat and mouse shit is getting real old, Victor.
Oh, great. You're just in time for the bad news. There's no gold, Joe. Look, I'm telling you the truth, all right? There's nothing down there. Not anymore. Chloe screwed us both.
You know, for once, I actually believe you.
Come on, Joe. After everywhere we've been, everything we've done, can't we just talk this out?
I'm done talking.
Slippery Dober.
Was it actually Braddock that pulled the trigger?
Don't go there. I know good will come from it. All right, you want revenge? Beat her to the gold.
Whoa!
What?
What is that?
It's my arm.
Well, could you move it?
What, you want me to cut it off? We had a perfectly good thing going, so you started talking.
But now you're just holding me.
You know what? It's always something with you.
Ferdinand Magellan. No way.